Alright, so I just downloaded the iOS 13 beta on my old iPhone because there's a new feature coming out that I was really excited about as pertaining to video, and I just wanted to show it off in case anybody else was interested. I posted this photo on Instagram a couple weeks ago and everything, and I was going for a walk in the park and I came across this tree and it was backlit and it was just beautiful in the moment and everything, and I wanted to capture it. So I knew that the camera wasn't likely going to do a great job at capturing what it felt like, and so I took a raw photo, and yeah, this is the resulting photo, which is just like pretty undynamic and not that exciting and just kind of flat. If I posted that, you'd be like, what the hell are you posting this picture for? But once it's edited and everything, it really brings out how it felt to be in there in the moment, this like kind of divine light peeking through back behind there. And the way that I'm able to do that is because in iOS here, you're able to go under these settings, and it has like pretty deep settings for adjusting things like this brilliance. You can bring the highlights down, you can adjust the shadows to bring those out more, and you can go point by point and then go into color and do saturation and everything. And then I use this app Pixelmator a lot here to do editing, where you can add things like vignettes and vintage looks and all kinds of things like that. So what ends up happening, so you get this, which this is what it felt like to be there versus the original, so there's the original and the edit. And this applies to video because so up until now, you haven't been able to do any of these features that you can do. There's been like no color editing features in iOS natively whatsoever. So I tried taking a video of the same thing, and I took it through Filmic Pro app, and like I did all these manual settings. But what you get is this like that original photo, this very kind of undynamic, unexciting video. And since I'm likely just gonna like want to post this up as an Instagram story or something, it's not worth the work of taking it into Final Cut and importing and exporting and messing around with the color. I'm just not going to do that. So I never did anything with this video. It's just really unimpressive to look at. But on iOS 13 now, they've introduced those same features that you get with the photos into video. Alright, so this phone is iOS 12 right here. I'm on a video. If I bring up the edit settings, the only thing that I can do is just trim the video. Okay, now we're on a phone with iOS 13, so I'm playing this video file, but when I open it up, I not only have a new screen with a different way to trim, but I have all these features, exposure, shadows, highlights, all the same stuff that you get in photos and more, actually. I haven't even played to see if these are in there. But you also get some of the built-in Apple presets that were just in iMovie before, and then you can adjust the level of intensity on each one of those. But those usually don't do good enough. I'm trying to get in there and get more specific on what I'm doing, so I can take down the highlights, adjust the shadows, play with the contrast. You can really go deep into all this stuff. Okay, and here we have the video with some color applied to it real quick. I could take some more time to finesse it and everything, but either way, this video is just so much cooler to look at, feels so much more like what it felt like to be there in person. Just like the photo example, I'd be much more prone to post this than just what I got natively out of the camera or Filmic Pro. So it's just pretty crazy what you're going to be able to do with color natively on iOS out of the phone without any additional apps or anything. Anyone's going to be able to do this. It's just fun and cool. And one quick word of warning, do not download the iOS 13 beta if it's like your main device or work device or anything. It's pretty buggy at this point. So I'm glad I did it on my backup.